Hi, I'm Sandra Carday. Thank you for joining me. This is my Cuban kitchen. And today I'm going to show you how to make Enchilado de Mariscos or Enchilado Marinero. It has nothing to do with Mexican enchiladas. Enchilado simply means a sauce made of tomatoes, garlic, peppers, onions. Mostly a tomato sauce. So today I'm going to show you my way of making the most delicious seafood stew you've ever had. And it's very easy. We've assembled the ingredients for you in advance. We have cleaned big shrimp, beautiful shrimp. These are tiger shrimp. Manila clams, big whole scallops, and a beautiful whitefish. In this case, it's halibut. We have tomatoes, parsley, oregano, salt, fresh basil, tomato paste, chopped onions, sliced red and green bell peppers, and of course the star. It always takes center stage, and that's the crab, which we have pre-cooked and broken strategically to make it easier to eat. Then we have our staple of the Cuban kitchen, which is pounded in a mortar and pestle, pounded garlic. And we're going to use a lot of this. You can't be timid with the garlic. You can't be timid with the onions or the bell peppers. Use them liberally and people will love your food. We also have wine. In this case, we're using a Chinese distilled rice wine. I like it, but you can use any good dry white wine of your choosing. Of course, if you can't drink it, don't use it in your recipes, okay? And 3/4 of a cup of the olive oil. So we're getting it started with our sofrito. So we're going to heat up the olive oil in a nice big pot. The bigger the pot, the better. This is the biggest one I have today, so we're just going to have to make do. And we're going to wait until it gets hot. So we are going to now put in our onions. They go first because they take a little longer to cook. And stir those around, coat them well. Try not to stir them too much, because what you want, if the camera can come over here, is this browning around the edges of the onion, and you're not going to get that if you keep stirring it. So kind of let it stay put until you get a little bit of this browning around. At this point, you can add the pepper or the peppers. How many colors you have, better. If you've got orange, that's good. Add the orange, add the green, add the red, add the yellow, all the peppers that you want. Put them in there and stir them up. Pretty soon it's going to have the most amazing aroma. And you are cooking this on high or medium high. It depends on your stove. If you've got a stove on steroids, it shouldn't be too hot. So after you've cooked them for a few minutes, you're going to add your garlic. At this point is when it starts to get really interesting, because the aromas that come out of here are wonderful. All right, now it's starting to smell like a real Cuban kitchen. So we're going to cook this for a few minutes. Of course, don't overcook the garlic because you're going to get bitter garlic. Don't cook it too much. If it starts to brown, you have cooked it too much. The peppers are still whole and slightly firm, so they are not mushy and soft. Add the tomatoes. We can add our salt, the oregano, and the basil. You can use dried basil too. And now we're going to put in that tomato paste. You want to cook the tomatoes a little bit, about 5 minutes. Peppers have cooked somewhat, the tomatoes are cooked, but they haven't fallen apart. You still have chunks of tomato. That's how I like it. Don't cook it any more than that. Add the wine. we're gonna add a little punch with Tabasco sauce. So let me get that. And I'm gonna show you about how much to add, because if you add too much, it really is spicy, unless of course you like things very spicy, which some people do. So we're gonna use about that much, about a teaspoon. And we've ladled some of the sauce over the fish. And we are going to cover it for just a few minutes. Add the shrimp, the scallops, the clams. We're going to put the clams in there. And let's not forget, in the sauce, the butter that came out of the crabs. So let's put that in there and cook that all up. I want to show you when to add the crab, okay? It's all boiling away. The fish looks like it's done. The shrimp are slightly pink. The scallops are plumping up and they look beautiful. The clams are beginning to open. And this is a good time to add the crab. With any of the liquid that's collected, all that liquid is flavor. Don't throw that out. And you want to ladle some of the sauce over it. Put the lid back on for just a few minutes. And we are going to have an amazing enchilado marinero. Arrange the dish on a beautiful platter. Sprinkle it with the parsley, the fresh parsley, and serve it to all of your amazed guests. They're gonna love it. There you have it. Enchilado de Mariscos, or Enchilado Marinero, Cuban style. Thanks so much for being with me today. Bye-bye.
Baila un